Hey, boss. Hey, how are you today? It's your girl, LaShonda Henry here, aka Sister Sense. Always excited to share things you can do to work on your money, your marketing, and your sales goals too, with strategy and intention. So, look, what we're going to do this week is have a great time talking about really strategically starting up your business with my two favorite things, strategy and intention. Now, from my OGs, welcome back. From my newbies, thank you for joining me. Feel free to tag your business besties and share this out because, as always, sharing is caring. That's what it's all about. So, I'm going to, over the course of the next few days, essentially share with you some recommendations as far as starting your business online. And in case you missed it, I definitely recommend you watch in conjunction with this week of sessions. You watch the session I did last week on how to put together a really simple business action plan. Had seven really solid points. People have been telling me that it was really helpful. And that is over at sistersense.com/SBP for simple business plan. It's going to give you access to watch the replay so that you can take note of those 7 points to really consider the next 30 days what you're going to do to work on starting or leveling up your online business efforts. So, what I'm essentially going to do today is actually take you inside of my Spring into Action Set Up and Sell webinar workshop. This particular workshop was for entrepreneurs, like I mentioned just a while ago, who wanted to figure out what they could do to really start working on putting their business goals into action. And this I think it's got a lot of great recommendations that you can start to implement. So the first thing that we're going to do this week is I'm going to talk to you about one part of my money map process that I love, which is talking about different types of clients you can potentially work with without working on 15 different types of businesses, right? And you can raise your hand and let me know if you've got like 15 different things that you're doing that are all completely different and they're sometimes overwhelming. You want to be able to really dig into your core and really expand based on the things that you do well. So, first on this list is clients who want DIY, right? So for people who want to do it yourself, a lot of times, for example, cooking, we like cookbooks or we like, videos we can watch, right? What kind of DIY content can you produce for the DIY client? Number one. And I will say this too. Normally, when it comes to these different client types, they also have price points, right? So oftentimes when people are looking to do it for themselves, either they're really wanting to be in full control of the process, or they're in a space where they're on a budget and they can't afford somebody else to do it for them. So that is food for thought. Next one here on this list is clients who want DFY, done for you services, where they're like, look, I'm not trying to pull my hair out. You know how to do this. You're an expert. You've been doing it for a long time. How much? All right, good. I'll pay you. Get it done, right? So think about that. Outside of creating products for DIY clients who want to do things for themselves, what kind of services can you offer to do things for people that honestly they don't want to do, right? They would much rather pay you to do those things. Number two. Number three on this list is clients who want BLY. Be like you coaching. I love working with women entrepreneurs. I always laugh when I say a lot of the entrepreneurial women that I work with are honestly, I would say, at least 5 to 10 years older than me, which for me, I think it's funny because they'll say, LaShonda, I want to be like you when I grow up, right? Grow up from the entrepreneur perspective. And over the years, I've realized that outside of being an infopreneur and I create DIY training for people, outside of that, I've got people who say, okay, I like the training, but can I pay you to do it for me? And then I've got people who say, wow, you work at home, you have a child like me, you transitioned from, the city, you live in the whatever connection they have with me. And they're like, I really feel like you resonate with me and I want to be able to mirror some of the things that you've been able to achieve in your life in mine. So what can I do? And oftentimes that translates into clarity calls when we get on the phone and they are working with me to help them get clear about what they need to do to again, work on their vision and accomplish some of the things that I've been able to accomplish in my life. So I want you to think about that. There are people who want DIY, there are people who want done for you, DFY, and then there's the BLY too, the people looking to be like you. Last but not least on this list is clients who want DWI, done with you services. And I kind of came up with the concept of DWI a few years ago when I realized that there were some people who they want to do it themselves, but in some cases they get frustrated, they get stuck, they lack confidence, they lack clarity. And so they kind of want to learn how to do it themselves, but they would love it if there was a teacher or somebody, an expert who could, help them when they, hit a wall or get stuck, right? Things like that. And so I have created a lot of DWY, done with you programs and done with you one-on-one experiences for clients who want that, right? As a matter of fact, when I did this training, and if you're curious and if you want to really get a good start when it comes to me saying, okay, here are some things you can do to start your online business, create a plan, products that you can produce in a matter of days. We go through all of that and the 3-part training that is this Spring into Action webinar workshop. All the videos are online. All the templates and tools are there. And that's over at sistersense.com/SYOB, which stands for Start Your Online Business, right? SYOB. But this is just a snippet of that 3-day, 3-part webinar training, right? And one of the things that I talked about was, okay, I'm going to show you how to do stuff, but we're going to do it together. So as I was doing this training, I had my clients work on putting together custom notebooks, work on putting together digital products, work on putting together slides so they can host their own webinars. It was very hands-on. So that would be a good example of a done with you experience. So they're not just setting these things up on their own, like watching a training, but then they watch a training and they get stuck and they go, wait, right? They've got me there going, okay, send me your graphics. Show me what you're doing on the screen. It's a DWI, done with you experience. So based on whatever industry you are in right now, I want you to think about, as far as where you're trying to grow, whether you're trying to start or move forward, right? Move up in the entrepreneurial process. What are you creating versus what you can create, right? Yesterday, I had a great session with one of my clients and mentees. We talked about different things that you can do to get your side income on, right? And one of the things that we mentioned was being in a place where you could actually sell what you sell in a different way. So one of my clients was on Lavon, and she sells affirmations and, self-care and all of these beautiful products that she produces for her client base. And I said, that's the DIY person, right? They want your affirmation cards. They want your positive messages on your t-shirts. They want your journaling processes, right? That's your DIY client. But then think about the fact that you may have a BLY client, somebody who goes, I want to be like you. I want to put my messages on t-shirts and cards and books, and I want to produce a website that looks like yours, right? So there are different types of people you can work with depending upon how you switch your perspective, right? When it comes to categorizing different types of clients. So DIY, DFY, BLY, and DWI, 4 types of clients I want you to think about today. And as we go through this week, I'm going to do my best to share some other strategies when it comes to starting and growing your online business. So hopefully this was helpful, these quick tips. Feel free to like it up, heart it up. Let me know if you've enjoyed this today. And of course, if you do have questions for me, you can always go over to sistersense.com, click the gray tab on the right of the website to send me a voice message. And you can definitely dig into the Start Your Online Business training, which is all about springing into action, right? So you can set up for sales literally this week. The full training is over at, again, sistersense.com/SYOB. All righty, my dearest, till tomorrow, take care.